So obviously today is New Year's Eve as I'm recording this video. I'm probably also going to upload it on New Year's Eve, but I had another video in mind and I'm probably still going to upload it, which is kind of like a guide to 2024. My ideas as to what I'm going to do and what I encourage you to try out as well. But this video is a little different. It's going to be less edited and things like that. It's just going to be on the mindset of new year, new me. You hear it all the time. People, they have their resolutions and everything and they want to go out and do something new, change what they have in their life. And, as much hate as it gets, it's cool because to change, you need a kickstart. You need something to really get you going into the right lifestyle. So I think a New Year's resolution isn't as bad as people make it out to be. It's just that the mindset is completely flawed. You see, what happens to someone who makes a New Year's resolution is that the first few days, they're on it. They kill it. They do everything they want to do. They're hitting the gym. They're training hard. They're getting their food in. They're eating good food. They're working. They're going to school, studying. But what ends up happening after is things get a little harder. Everyone can function on motivation. Everyone can function when there's something driving you, when you have a desire to achieve something, when everything feels good, when you wake up in the morning, you have energy, you're in your holiday, you've got no school right now, everything feels good, ready to go. You get up, you start working, and you feel like you're making progress. You feel like everything's going well. You've done your New Year's resolution good and everything. But what ends up happening is school starts again. Some things might happen in life. Gets difficult. You start waking up. You feel tired all the time. You don't want to go to the gym. You're exhausted. And slowly, I don't want to do this today. I really don't want to study today. I really don't want to. And all of a sudden, you start losing the drive and your desire to get there. And you slowly fall off the wagon. And this happens to so many people. It happens to the majority of people who set out New Year's resolutions. And in fact, not just New Year's resolution people who watch one motivational video and say, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do all my work today. They do it, but then the next day they don't have anything to do. And it's, of course, the idea that you shouldn't rely on motivation. You should rely on your own discipline to build that up. But it's not so easy to build up your discipline. You've probably tried it. It's not easy at all. To rely on discipline is completely different from motivation because motivation is from an external source, whereas discipline is from within. And to build something within is way harder than to get something from the outside. So the thing with these people is their mindset is completely flawed. They're relied on the motivation. They're relying on the fact that everyone around them is also, everyone's doing a New Year's resolution. I got to do one too. I got to get better too. And that just doesn't really end up working consistently because you have to think that the reason you're doing this resolution is an entire life change. It's not just, I'm going to do this for a month and see what happens. If that's your mindset, then I guess the resolution mindset works for you. But for most people who are actually trying to improve themselves, it's called self-improvement. And it's not a habit. It's a lifestyle. It's not something you get into and then eventually when you achieve whatever you want, you get out of it. It is a lifestyle. You're doing this forever. Unless you're willing to commit yourself to the lifestyle of self-improvement starting on January 1st, then you don't have a true New Year's resolution. You don't have the proper mindset to achieve anything. And then there's a group of people who hate on the people with the New Year's resolutions, and then the same for them, they don't end up achieving anything either because, they don't have a reason to do anything, they don't have the drive to do anything, and they certainly don't have the discipline to do anything. So they just stay stagnant. The person who sets the resolution gets a little spike, and then they start crashing down again slowly. And that's kind of their fate. That's kind of what's destined for them. Because that's how the human mind works. Okay? You have to understand that if you're truly trying to do something extraordinary in your life, you will be fighting your mind almost every day. That's how you know you're doing it right. And what happens with the mind is, as soon as you get the feeling that you're doing something good, that you're achieving, the mind says, we can relax a little now. You don't have to do the work today, and you fall off the wagon. And then there's another spike because after that you realize that you're slacking off and then you start slacking off again. So it's just this endless cycle of doing something and then doing absolutely nothing for like a week or two. And then a couple more days of working hard and then you're getting lazy again. And I'm not saying this as some sort of expert on productivity or anything. I certainly know what I'm doing, but I've had my times where I've been slacking quite a bit. It might not be slacking in terms of the regular person definition because I still worked a lot harder than most people. But to me, to the work I usually do, it is slacking. And this is how the human mind works. The human mind, when you start achieving something, when you start feeling good about the work you do, it wants you to slow down. It wants you to get lazy, get complacent. You don't have to do it, bro. You're already doing good. It's that voice that keeps getting in your head. But do you know what stops that annoying little voice? It's another voice. Some of you might not have it, but for me at least, I know that there's a voice in me, even if it's just faint, even if it just happens once in a while. It might be the voice of David Goggins for all I know. As long as you have that little thing in your mind telling you, no, you got to do more. If you keep building up that voice in your mind, that is discipline. That voice is discipline. That is what it is. If you think about it, right? It's telling you, no, you need to do this. That is literally what discipline is. So, to build up this voice, what you need to do is listen to it more consistently. Now, if you don't have the voice, then you can kind of build it yourself, to be quite honest with you. Because let's say you don't have it, right? Let's say you're working on something and you feel like quitting. You have to build a voice to tell yourself, no, I'm not quitting. And you do just a little bit more. You do 5-10 minutes more maybe the first time. Then the next time you feel this voice, same thing. You do a little bit more and a little bit more. And every time you want to quit something, activate that voice. And that voice will push you a little bit farther. It's not going to take you all the way at the beginning. But once you build it up, it slowly might take you all that way. And that's what you got to do. That's what David Goggins has in his mind, man. If you've read his book, he talks about creating Goggins, not just David Goggins. And that Goggins, when he goes into that state, he can do anything and nothing can stop him. That is that voice. He creates this character in his mind of Goggins. And when he's that character, he will do anything. You saw the video of him bench pressing where he says, "They don't know me, son," and carrying the boats and everything. That's Goggins. He could have stopped at 15 reps. Most of you would have stopped at 15 reps, but he went to 25 because of the power of that voice in his mind. So build up the power of that voice. That's how you build up real discipline. And so what your mindset should be going into the new year is that, no, you're going to have downs. Know that, no, you're not immediately going to get up and start working forever and being the best version of yourself. We as humans are pretty pathetic. We slack off a lot. You're probably going to slack off. But guess what? Guess what the number one thing that you should do this year is? Every time you fall down, every time you slack off, recognize it, understand it, and get back up stronger. Because if you're increasing like this and you drop, and you increase higher than your last peak, and you drop, and you keep doing that increase, I'll put a picture on the screen to like illustrate it a little better, you're still making progress. You see? That is how progress is made. Progress is made by a little bit of increase and then you slack off a little bit, because the mind naturally will slack off. What you have to do is that when the mind slacks off, you activate that voice, you activate discipline, you build your discipline, and then you slowly increase again, and then it drops and you increase again. And then as that increase happens throughout the year, you're making progress. No, you're not going to become the ultimate version of yourself in 2024. It's not going to happen. In fact, is there really an ultimate version of yourself? Because that's contrary to the mindset of self-improvement, which is consistent improvement throughout life. It's forever improvement. It's not like I'm going to get this house, I'm going to make $1 million and then I'm done. Because that's how you fail. That's the trap. The trap is you make what you want and then you slack off and you lose all of it. You need to have the mindset consistently, and that's what building discipline does. Discipline is eternal. Discipline is the fuel and motivation is the spark. Motivation is the little video you watch of Goggins and boom, you have a little spark in your mind, that voice kicks in and you get working. But when you feel like quitting again, what fuels you is that voice. It's that discipline you have in your mind to continue. So for 2024, no, it's not new year, new me. It's the same you with a different mindset. And that different mindset will create the new you. So going into tomorrow, going to January 1st, work harder than you did today. And then January 2nd, work harder than you did on January 1st. January 3rd, 4th, you might start slacking off a little. Guess what? 5th, you're back on it. You're working hard again. Don't get so down on yourself for slacking off. It happens to pretty much everybody. Don't get lazy and complacent. Don't use that as an excuse to get lazy. Use it as a reason to get stronger and better. So have the mindset that you're going to improve consistently for the entirety of 2024. It's not that the second or third week of January, goodbye resolution, I'm done. I'm going to go back to my regular self. That's not how it works. This is for life. Okay, if it makes you feel any better, I'm doing the same thing. Okay, I'm not perfect. I get lazy all the time. I'm human too. We're all human watching this video. We get lazy, okay? Not all of us can be David Goggins, but we can sure as hell try our hardest to be hard as we possibly can, like he encourages, okay? So keep the mindset going. You're going to fall. Every time you fall, get back up stronger, learn from your mistakes, and become a better version of yourself. Change up your mindset, and 2024 will be your year. Hope you enjoyed the video. Reject mediocrity, embrace mastery. See you, bro. Happy New Year.